YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Cal. It's been over a year since I've uploaded on this channel. For those who may remember in the far distant time when I did upload on this channel, upload a lot of self-growth videos, a lot of entertainment videos back in the day, and last year around this time, did a bodybuilding prep. I look back at those videos so often and I'm like, dude, I miss these days. And so over the past year, my business has, just really just taken over. And so literally all I do is edit and film videos. It's like my life. So, editing and filming anything else outside of, what I do for work just feels like the last thing I want to do. But I was talking with my business partner and brother and freaking homie Jason, that it's time that we start documenting again. It's time we start using this as an outlet to just express ourselves. And so in my bio on YouTube it just says documenting every season of my life. And so with this, I'm not trying to blow up as like a fitness influencer. I'm literally just trying to just document and just share, and if someone takes some value from it, awesome. If someone is like, this is lame, awesome, but looking back on those bodybuilding prep episodes and like my self-growth videos, it's so cool to look back on years and years and years ago to really just see not only the growth but to see what you were thinking during those times. And so we're gonna go through a little workout today. Should be fun, and hope you guys enjoy the ride. So I've recorded this intro like 6 times, but I'm glad we were able to get through it. So let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Hit a little chest, a little back, a little arms. Should be fun. All right, so we're starting off with incline bench with a boogie with a hoodie. We're feeling a lot weaker than normal, but all I've been doing really lately is just squat and bench, and squat and bench has been just feeling awesome lately, especially squat. Haven't been deadlifting because honestly it takes too much out of me and it's too much work. So we're just sticking to squat and bench and just honestly just doing cluster sets. So like here I'll do 175 for probably 2 sets of 5, and then from there I'll drop it to like 155 and do another cluster set of like 155 for 8. So we'll see how it goes. Feeling pretty weak, but I think I hit incline earlier this week. So we're just kind of going with the flow. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, definitely a little weak. We're good though. One rep short. And definitely I shouldn't be going to this RPE right now, but God, there's nothing more defeating than like 1 week you're just pushing, oh my keys, you're just pushing really good weight, and then the next week you just get humbled by the bar. Because like literally like a week ago I did the same set, 185 cluster, I think it was a 2x4, and like I had more in the tank. And so, obviously could be a million factors, nutrition, sleep, but man, when you're just moving weight, dude, and you feel like you could do more, it's like the best feeling. So, but hey, we're still moving weight. Not a lot, but something. All right, so on this we're doing 155, probably like 2 sets of 6. See how it goes. Come on. him. Come on. Oh, come on. Get that shit up. Come on. Yep. That last one was for the camera. I usually would stop. Dude, I just feel like an old man. Oh my god. It's so crazy. It was just like I was saying. Some weeks you feel amazing, and some weeks you just feel like absolute garbage. You know, it's so weird because, like, I don't know why. I feel so nervous filming right now. I mean, obviously, in public. I don't do this often. But, you know, it's just crazy because, like, when I did it for such a long time, and don't get me wrong, when I did it at the old gym that I used to be a part of, it was definitely more normal, but I think in this aspect it's just like it feels so foreign because I'm always behind the camera, and now that the camera, the spotlight's on me, you know, obviously with other people around, and like, what do they think? And I'm like just thinking about like what to say, and then, you know, once you get into it, it's like it's not bad at all. You know, no one cares. You know, they're like, oh, you have a camera, but like the other day, doesn't matter. So, yeah, this is good, man. This is good. All right, time for some dips. So now, how I do these is, it's called myo reps, and so my boy and my boy and business partner / bodybuilding, old bodybuilding coach, Mr. Tristan Chair. Wow, I cannot talk right now. All right, so start this over. Oh my god, dude. I'm such a freaking rookie. Holy shit. Alright, so what we're doing now is some dips. And it's myo reps, right? So, fun fact, if you guys are ever in a time crunch for the gym and you're just on the go and you just need to get in high quality sets and still get some intensity, and even if you're trying to put on muscle, like my old bodybuilding coach / boy / roommate / old bodybuilding coach, Mr. Tristan Karajanis, put me onto this. He got it from Mike Israetel, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tristan. And literally, I've done it since this past fall when we were training for our marathon, and it's just super effective. You can get in and out in like 45 minutes, especially if you're on like a maintenance program where you're not really trying to build muscle, and you're still looking for like a good sweat, good intensity. And even if you're trying to build muscle, like you do this like 3, 4, 5 times a week. Like I only lift probably like, 3 times a week right now. And then, I play golf for cardio, and like I do cardio here. But like back when we were doing the marathon, it was like we were running like, 3, 4 times a week and then lifting twice a week, and this was perfect because, with things getting super busy with our business, it's just like got to be in and out, and then got to get some high quality sets. But myo reps are, to my knowledge at least, listen, I'm not some expert, but to my knowledge, it's usually just used at the end of sets. Like so, and myo reps are, I haven't even explained what myo reps are. Wow. So myo reps are essentially, oh my god, dude, I'm so off. Myo reps are essentially, you start off with your first set. You do it as many times as you can, and then at the end, you take 5 seconds or 5 deep breaths, and then after those 5 deep breaths, we're probably like 10 to 20 seconds. Then you literally just go until failure again. So it'll probably be like 15, then 10, and then all the way down until 5. So most likely it'll be 4 or 5 sets, but then you'll get it done within 4 or 5 minutes, as opposed to possibly being there for 10 minutes. If you're taking like a minute or 2 break in between each set. And so honestly, feel the same amount of intensity. You're not doing as many reps, but you're in that really intense RPE range where you're exerting the muscle as much as possible. And I've been doing it for literally almost a year now, and it's working great. So, little side note, if you need any assistance, but listen, what do I know, right? Little baby, oh no. you guys know who FaZe Blaze is from FaZe Clan, you start a little rap career, like listen, it's like SoundCloud music, but honestly, I vibe to it. And you know what? It's pretty good. It's called Get Loose by FaZe Blaze. You probably will hate it, but yo, shout out KSI. KSI's music's actually pretty fire, I can't lie. Some would beg to differ. Man. Oh. Take a fly. With these types of exercises like dips or pull-ups that are a little bit more physically demanding, it's a little bit tougher to get higher reps for consecutive sets. So you'll go like 15 the first set, and then you'll have a big drop off, especially if you don't have a long break period in between. So just keep. The reason why I say that is because like if you're doing like rows or lat pull downs or possibly pec flies or bicep curls or whatever, those less demanding exercises, you'll probably be able to get higher reps for those later sets. So little side note, you're not a loser, it's just how this kind of works, but you're still getting that good intensity. And especially with the bigger movements, don't recommend doing this on like deadlift or bench like crazy, because you'll probably hurt yourself a lot. But yeah, just to note that you're not a loser. It's just kind of how it works. Oh my god. Whew. Nice. All right, we got some myo rep lat pull downs. Dude, I love the late night gym vibes. The people here are awesome, man. Just a couple of psychos at the gym on a Saturday night, and this weight is way too heavy. Just like cool to be around, like we all kind of just like, yeah, it's like super late, and just all want to get some good work in, Oh. Okay. All right. Come on. Not bad. So yeah, this week it has been the 4th of July week, and it's been a nice little reset week, because this week we haven't had to film nearly as much like usually, especially after these past couple weeks, like during the summer, during club sports, especially for lacrosse. It's just been absolutely insane with the amount of just gigs that we have on the weekend, and it's been nice to be able to take a step back and be able to wake up and not cram in video edits, and then drive like 2.5 hours to a gig. And I think during these past couple weeks, it's just been, we're at a point. So for those who don't know, my business partner and I, Jason and Tristan, we have a sports videography business where we essentially help clubs, prep schools in general, highlight their athletic programs and at the end of the spring, we were shooting just a ton of prep school sports, and then also a little bit of club too. But as soon as that ended, where we were working 7 days a week, we're always working 7 days a week, but really, being out there on the front lines, like filming and editing, immediately we picked up club lacrosse, and the weekends have just been absolutely insane with both managing, videographers that we have going out for us, and then also the travel, and then everything else that goes into that, and so. It's been nice to be able to take our foot off the gas a little bit this week, but also to really see the growth. And so I think about it a lot. And 2 years ago when Jason and I started this thing, literally 2 years ago, even a summer ago, like when I quit my 9-to-5 job, like we were doing nothing during the summer. And now we have the perspective of like, okay, if a videographer is not booked during this time, like they out of not knowing or just laziness, there's plenty of gigs going around, but they just don't want to work, or they just don't know how to get work. And so that was literally us last summer. And then the summer before that, we filmed a basketball camp, shout out Paul Harris, for like 2 weeks straight, completely unpaid. It was a great experience because it helped us get off the ground. But like looking back on that, that's like something we can never do now. And it's really cool to see where we're at and see how we've had one of our best months as a business, and where we're going, the problems that we have to solve, and then just like everything else that kind of comes from there. Everything else that just kind of comes from there, and just how entrepreneurship, especially. We're just so new, and we're such babies in this. There's still so much we need to learn, but like it's cool to see that we're actually starting to pick up progress, and that we're starting to make strides in this area, and that really we're at least it feels like we're doing as good as we can, and obviously there's a ton to learn, and there's so much, like I said before, that we don't know. But like being with this group of guys, being with them, and being able to, and I'll open up more about it, not in this episode, but over these past couple months, it's definitely been it's been really hard for me to adjust to, both like on an emotional level, but also to like become who I want to be, and like a lot like the bodybuilding prep that I had on this channel before was called like Don't Let You Freak Yourself Down, and like there was times this past spring where I thought about quitting, or I thought about leaving the business behind, my baby, and to see where I'm at now with the different things going on in my life, and seeing like how I feel like I'm genuinely at a different spot now, and not in the same headspace as before, and really leaning into my area of the business, it feels great, you know what I mean? And like seeing that like you can make it through a tough time, and seeing the person that you can become on the other side of that kind of obstacle, and it's like could not be with a better group of guys. I could not want a different life, and it's just I get to wake up every single day and I got to do what I love, and it's like, of course, like positivity is just so normalized in our life, so we don't even really think about it, but like every single day I just like I the more I reflect back on it, it's just like even today when I just wake up, video edit, and then go golfing with my boys, and then even to film if I had to. It's just like, dude, like you're living your best life, man. And it's just like every single day I got to remind myself of that, because a lot of times I forget, you know what I mean? And we just get stuck in this negativity and negative thoughts, and it fucking sucks, dude. Like fucking firsthand, that was me this past spring, and it was horrible, you know what I mean? But I think surrounding yourself with the right people, and being willing to share, especially when you're having those difficult experiences, definitely helps you get through it, so, but, drawing it back to what I was saying, it's just like, it's really cool to see the growth that we've had as a business, and to see where we're going, and it's cool, man. It's really fucking cool. So, all right, hit these bicep curls, and then we'll see what happens from there. Come on. Oh shit. Come on. Yeah, dude, I don't know how I didn't shout him out yet. Mr. Saturday, if you're watching this video, shout out, dude. For those who don't know, Mr. Doctor Coach Mr. Saturday was my powerlifting coach back in the day. And maybe this December or early January, we'll see. Probably, I'm going to do something this upcoming year. Probably do a powerlifting meet, so, not going to go, crazy hard in terms of, like, bulking up and putting on a ton of weight, but like a casual powerlifting meet. And Mr. Saturday, if you're accepting applicants, I'd love to have you as my coach again. Oh my god, dude, it's crazy. I remember when it was like sophomore year of college, and I just got so fed up with being weak, and like it was the point where I realized I kind of reached my ceiling with how much knowledge that I had. I could have looked up stuff with how strong I could get myself, and I was like, I remember just I think I failed like 185 for 5, and this is the year after I met Mikey, and I literally texted him. I was like, dude, I'm so sick and tired of being weak. Please make me strong. And he did exactly that. My numbers went up like crazy after Mikey started coaching me, and it was just crazy because I thought I would always be weak. And then I started working with a powerlifting coach who knew what they were doing, and that changed everything. So if you feel weak, maybe consider talking to someone that knows what they're talking about. That's something I've also realized too, that like when someone else sets rules for me, like, okay, you have to follow this diet, like, okay, you have to follow these reps, these sets, these workouts, you have to work out X amount of times a week, or you need to get these edits done by this time, or you need to get this homework done by this time, and you need to get this grade. Like that pressure, as corny as it sounds, like that pressure really does just forces you to put out the best product possible. And it's like, I think about it now in terms of like managing my calories and, working out like intensity wise or, just efficiency. I never get my best performance when I'm just like trying to hold myself accountable. Like, of course, if I needed to, I think I could. But when I have a coach or, my business partner, Jason, like needs these edits done, or he's like, dude, this needs to be a fucking banger tonight, like in order to land this client, or such a motivator in such an odd way, because like, you need to get it done, and if you don't, you'll fail. And so, I look back at, I'm not saying like my successes, but like, when I did powerlifting prep, or when I did, my bodybuilding show, or when, we do anything with the business, it's just like, when that pressure's on me, like that's when I perform the best. And in the moment it sucks, but like if you're trying to reach a certain outcome, you need strict rules in place in order to reach that outcome, as soon as possible. Because there's certain steps and you just need to follow them. And so like what helps you follow them? That pressure. Okay. I am not a fan of this angle, but I don't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. So, it's the best angle we got. Alright. Got some lateral raises on this super sick machine. Last set, or last workout, last exercise. get some posing after this. We'll call it a day. Yeah, something I want to talk about is just like, as I get warmed up here, it's just like, even with coming back on this channel, and like, I've noticed a lot in life in general, just always feeling the need to appear a certain way, whether that's for a sense of significance, whether that's for trying to get attention, or, you know, just to hide who you really are. And so I think, like, even like filming here, like right now, like, of course I feel that desire to not share certain things, or to try and appear a certain way in front of the camera. And, you know, the reason why I bring this up is because, you know, one, for me personally, I think in my life lately, it's definitely been very prevalent, you know, whether that be with friends, with partners, or, you know, just in life in general. Like, we're always just trying to put on a mask, and we're always trying to be someone we're not, and like ultimately that leads to you to be inauthentic. And I think, at least for me personally, what I try and think about when that happens is there's always this knot that's like attached to your heart, and it's like you're trying so hard to be someone you're not in order to fit in to a group of people that like a different version of you that you're not actually. And it's this like, you have this like internal desire, like you could even call it freedom, to like want to express yourself authentically, and just, it shouldn't even be a thought of like trying to, how should I act? Should I appear this way? Should I act sad? Should I not say anything? Like, when, at least to me, it's just like, the reason why I bring this up is because it's like, it's so prevalent in my life, and it's just like, I'm so self-conscious of, you know, really, like, I really am. And it's just like, there's advantages and there's disadvantages to that, right? So like, you're very self-aware, but also too, you're very self-critical, and like, you overthink a ton, right? And when you overthink a ton, you pick up on a lot of things, right? So, but, you know, for me personally, and like where I'm at in my life, it's just like, I think, with this, you know, with you want to call this a series, with posting channels, like I don't want to hide anything, you know what I mean? Of course I'm not going to just like share everything, right? But, you know, like, I want to just keep it real, like I want to keep it authentic, and I don't want to hide anything, you know. I don't want to try and appear a certain way, because I think, you know, really, the more I thought about, you know, when I was making, you know, doing the workout today, it's just like, at the end of the day, like, the whole point of this is just to document my life and share different lessons that I'm going through, you know, and ultimately, if that can help someone in a tough spot, that, you know, like, you know, tons of people did for me when I was in a tough spot this past spring, like, that's fucking awesome, you know. And like, it's a continual struggle of mine, trying to appear a certain way in front of others in order to fit in, right? Because I'm more of a people pleaser, and when I'm a part of the tribe, as opposed to not being a part of the tribe, it feels way better. But the sacrifice that happens is I lose myself. And so I've learned this past spring, you know, you just gotta stop caring what people think, and ultimately not try and be a version of yourself that is just there to please others, but one that you actually want to be, and one you, and it's just like, how do you operationalize that? It's just like, you're just acting how you would act without punishment, right? Like, you just act without thought, and it's just like, it's just flowing through you. It just happens, right? Like, I'm not thinking about what I'm gonna say, it's just coming out. It's authentic. But if you're like self-conscious, you're trying to criticize yourself for like every single movement, right? That's how you know you're inauthentic. At least that's the conclusion that I've come to. And it's just like trying to be as authentic as possible, but also too, like, you can't just walk around with your shirt off, right? Like, you can't, like, there's obviously lines, right? But yeah, you know, walking on thin ice is something I feel like almost every single day, and it's like, it's not a good feeling, right? But, you know, like I could say, you know, I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now where, you know, I've started to overcome that a lot, and it's so freeing, because like, you can be yourself, and others can get mad at you, and so what? So what? It doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? And you get to be you, which is priceless. Which is priceless. All right, just a sip. Oh, shit. Lower weight. Ooh. Oh yeah. All right, hopefully that angle looks all right. Ready for this like 3-rep set? Last set. All right. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. Still got it in. All right, where did I put my bag? Oh. Time for some posing. Throwing it way back. Dude, it's good to be back, man. I missed this a lot. I really did, man. Oh, it's like such a breath of fresh air, man. Such a breath of fresh air. Posing time. There was a wild sweatshirt in here, and I got scared. But we're good. We're the only people in here. All right, so it's been a little bit since I've done a physique update on this channel. But currently, I woke up today, 171, point, I don't know, like 4 or 5. Yeah, feeling good. From my bodybuilding show, I woke up that day, 155, and, oh yeah, let me adjust the camera angle. Well, I think this is fine. Hold on. This should be alright. Alright, yeah, that should be good. Right? Oh shit. Alright. This should be fine. If not, whatever. I woke up show day, 155, which is like the lightest I've been, especially at this weight. And then I sat around, I put on like 12 pounds within like a couple days of the bodybuilding show. I sat at like 168 for about a year, or no, for about a year, about 6 to 8 months. And then from there, I went up to like 172, and just kind of been hovering from like 170 to 176 since. And honestly, especially with where I'm at now, more on like kind of like a strength wave. I wish I was a little bit leaner, but honestly, happy with where I'm at. I like the physique. I feel like I look good. It's nice because like when I was running way more, I definitely lost muscle, especially within my legs. And I honestly don't know if my legs have gotten smaller. They've definitely gotten bigger from when I was running more, which is awesome and did not suck. But so happy with the physique right now. I'm gonna do some posing, see if I still got it in me. Wait, let me take out the keys. Shit. Especially if you can have a gym that has a posing room like this gym. Definitely a little bit expensive, but having a posing room is awesome. Get the legs in there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, so I mean, probably like 18% body fat right now, which is good. Like maybe a little bit less, could be 15. I don't know. Like honestly, yeah, I feel good. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. This is the first upload we've had on this channel in a minute, but just trying to document my life, and because when I'm 85 and a potato in a hospital bed, like looking back on these videos is probably going to be some of the best things that I could do. And I know each time I look back on the bodybuilding videos that I did, or the self-improvement videos that I did way back in the day when I was in college and stuff like that, I'm just like, dude, those were some of the best times. And my responsibilities are only growing, and there's never been a time in my life where like now's the time to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, don't have any crazy responsibilities besides working out, the gym, and just the business, right? And it's a special time, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Expect more down the line. We'll see how many. Definitely gonna make more of an effort to do it, but you know, with filming and editing like literally all day long, we're gonna do our best to get these out as consistently as possible. So your boy's looking small, has small calves and small arms, but you know, we'll get the job done. So, all right. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night. Love yourself because I love you. Stay handsome, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.